Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Steel Division Normandy 44 video. This is a kind of special one because yesterday the developers released a new map, as you can see. I forget what this map is called. I believe it's called Mount something. And they also released two new battle groups, which is the second blindé, or I have no idea how to pronounce that. They're French division, so yeah, you can imagine I am having trouble pronouncing that. But anyway, this is a very infantry slash tank heavy division, but it doesn't have like really heavy tanks. You just have a lot of different Shermans and whatnot. The other group is the 21st Panzer, which is Rommel's division, a well-known the Desert Fox from the World War II there. And I'm just gonna pop it into my view. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to show off as many of the new units as I want, because I'm playing as the French, and they're basically just the same as any other infantry division, just the infantry themselves is called something different than, you know, like rifles or whatever. But the front here, we have these two 50 cal machine gun, which are awesome, by the way, but unfortunately I do miss micro a little bit, and they end up getting destroyed early in the game. Also bringing up a rifle leader and a bazooka team, some mortars. This is a 81mm mortar, I believe. And we have the Obusier M8, which is basically the M8 Scott, as we know from the already existing battle groups. You also get access to these awesome support units, which is these 50 cal jeeps, which can lay down some very impressive suppressive fire. This French battle group unfortunately doesn't get access to something heavier than the 57mm pack gun, but they do have decent AP value, as you can see, but no HE value. So just pushing up in this into this town, as you can see, for some reason my car decides to take the long way around, and they get fired upon, and then they deploy, gets basically pinned down immediately. I do manage to get the 50 cal to fire back, and the Scott is doing some great damage to the enemy infantry in the tree line over here. But there goes the first 50 cal. And the second one is gonna be mismicroed and be forced to be pinned down, and it gets taken out. Same thing about this command unit here. I just retreat it just in the nick of time before it gets destroyed. Now mortars are opening up on the tree line. The infantry immediately start to pull back, and now I can safely move up my units. I'm bringing in some 30 cal reinforcements to cover the middle here. And I also brought up two units here, one unit of G50 cal and one unit of 30 cal infantry team. But the infantry team unfortunately got destroyed. As you can see, it has a lot of these half trucks here, and also this tank here, which is also new. As you can see, it's the Panzer 35S, and this has 7 AP value with a 47mm gun. Looks kind of World War I-ish, but yeah, this is one of the new tanks you get access to in the tree. You also get access to these befehls, or basically a leader half track with the MG42 there. Pushing up some Voltigeurs, which has the Thompson, the M1, and the M1 Garand. Gets pinned down by some Fallschirmjägers in the tree line here. At this point I was basically trying to get a good look up of the map, like see what's going on, because I haven't really seen this map before, but I think it's really cool. You can see there's this kind of mountain range going across the middle here, which looks pretty cool. I'm actually kind of curious if no, it doesn't look like, even though like this is elevated, it doesn't allow you to see across. You can see the gray field there. So that's kind of weird. I think they should definitely fix that so you can see like over the trees and bushes or whatnot. But yeah, it's a cool map. I like it. There's these scattered locations of buildings and lots of roads going in and out of the different areas, and you have these huge open fields, so which allows for some very good tank combat, in my opinion, which you will see me do later in the game. Just holding the line at the moment, bringing up some of these M5 Stuarts, which is the Char I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these French conversion names or whatever, but it's a Char M4a3, which is basically a Stuart with the 37mm gun, 8 AP value, 3 HE, sorry. Nothing new, basically, just this fancy little emblem here. And I'm not quite sure where it took out my cannon there. I didn't realize it while I was playing as well, but I'm guessing it was some sort of artillery or something. I actually have no idea, but it just kind of died. And now my infantry is sitting safe and sound in the buildings. Not really much gonna happen here. I'm gonna bring up a lot of tanks with also the Command M5. It's basically the same tank, to be honest. It's this one, I believe. The dual antennas, which is gonna give me the 1-star veterancy for these Stuarts here. And my plan here is basically just to keep up the pressure on these light Panzer 35s. So they can't really advance or make a move or anything. Because I am in a pretty good position here. I have this tree line here. They gotta push like through this tree line, and when they do, I have recon to spot them, and machine gun for infantry, and anti-tank guns scattered around the area here. This is pretty much covered off, and I'll also bring up a second AT gun there. For some reason these get taken out very fast. Come on, Stuarts! Found the the pack gun and immediately rips it to shreds with the that's gonna be 930 cal. So yeah, rip that pack gun. Let's see what's going on in the battlefield here. My teammate Shervin is making some awesome ground here. Pretty much securing the +1 lead for us, almost pushing the enemy entirely back to their spawn line, so to speak. On the far left side, it's pushing up with some a lot of infantry, supported by some Humbers, Churchills, and the MMD carriers, doing very well against these units here. Now I pushed my Voltigeurs into this town because I was pretty sure there was something in here, and they just kind of immediately just get taken out by the entrenched or the building, the infantry in the buildings over here. Now, starting to push up my tanks. This tank is going to follow up, but for the moment, it's just going to stay there. In comes the Nebelwerfer, or I believe this is a new type of rocket artillery, which is looks like the Xylophone, the American rocket artillery truck. You can see there's a lot of rockets coming in here. So yeah, this is a new unit. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you guys just yet because it is in cover. More of these half tracks. And I'm actually fighting two people here because you can see the Fallschirmjägers in the initial battle and also in the tree lines over here. And you have the 21st Panzer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the 21st Panzer on the kind of slightly right flank here. So I have basically two opponents on this general area here. And this is not my first game with the French, but I know that if he manages to reach phase C, the King Tigers in the new German battle group is gonna absolutely just wreck my units, because I have nothing with this battle group to do any sort of damage to the King Tigers unless it actually turns its ass against my AT gun or something. But from the front armor, it's no way nothing of my units gonna pen it. So I need to be preemptive here and just attack and gain as much ground as possible. And the Panzergunders gets a side shot on my Stuart, but gets torn apart by the 30 cals. Rolling around the trail line here, point blank on the Panzer 35s and the half tracks, which is, yeah, well, that pretty much speaks for itself. Now I'm bringing up some of the new Shermans. This is the Char M4a3. And this has actually 3 stars of veterancy because of the command Stuart, which is currently following it. And stats wise, nothing new. 10 front armor, 11 HP, and 4 HE power. Lots of machine guns, which is nice for infantry. Now you can see the new... Oh no, there it goes. Sorry about that. I am going to try to show it before the game ends, and I'm going to be sure to make another video on the German battle group as well, not just the French one. So now my teammate managed just to make some very nice ground here, bringing in some Spitfire to repel enemy planes. And I'm not quite sure what happens here, but my opponents bring in a lot of tanks to deal with these half tracks, and are going to do very well, because I believe he actually loses this entire bulge in the territory here. Bringing in some infantry of myself to push on the tree line here. I don't want to move my tanks too close because I do not know what's behind the behind or inside the tree line here. And again, this rocket artillery is really doing some works on my AT guns here, which is really annoying actually. I lost 3 AT guns over here, I believe, during the course of the battle due to this artillery unit. But now the push is starting. I decided to push my half tracks up the road first, just to expose any AT guns. My M8 gets taken out by the Panzer Gunders in the tree line here, which is unfortunate, but no big deal. I was just kind of like probing on this area here. And that's why I use my half tracks to move up first, because it will destroy any light infantry and to expose these pack guns, which is now going to be easy prey for my heavier units coming in the back here. Gets pinned down. P-38 coming in to finish the kill. And you do get access to a lot of interesting planes on this French deck. You can see the bazookas hanging out under the fuselage of the P-38 here, which is very interesting indeed. And you also get access to the DB-7 bomber. Unfortunately, I did not know that the Phase A DB-7 bomber is just a smoke-laying bomber, so you can lay like lines of smoke through the battlefield, which is definitely useful, but not kind of my style of playing, but definitely has its uses. Now my heavy units are pushing up to do some works on the Panzers. This is one of the new Panzers in the German battle group, the Panzer IV-H, which actually has a lot of AP damage. And also 3 of these MG-34s here. A lot of pack guns and tanks now moving up on my units here. Gets immediately taken out by the 50 cal half tracks. And now let's see the rocket artillery here. It looks kind of ridiculous if you ask me. There's like all these rockets in on the outside of the like no tubes or anything, so it looks kind of ridiculous, but it's definitely useful. As you can see, taking out all these AT guns down here, you can see it's just like a hellish hellish evidence of what happened over here. And rip, there goes the artillery. What's it called? It's called rocket wheel something. I don't know. I don't speak German. Just a massive amount of 50 and 30 cal going on over here. Just everything just get immediately destroyed by my tanks. I am continuing to bring in these tanks, and there's one of the new tanks you get access to in the French battle group. It's the Char M4a3, which is the 76mm version of the Sherman, with 13 HP AP, sorry, and 4 HE value, and 11 front armor, and 6 rear and side armor, which is pretty decent for a Sherman, but this deck could definitely use something heavier. But this deck is very good for like light infantry pushes, supported by like these medium tanks, and you also get a lot of interesting support vehicles in the deck. So I advise you to check it out if you own this game. It's very interesting. And now my opponent is bringing in his heavy guns as well. Does have this boat Sherman, or I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's like the captured Sherman, and some more Panzer force, and more Panzer force coming in over here as well. Just rushing my half tracks in here just to see what's going on. Now my infantry is lined up for the push, which is going to happen very soon now. Just to kind of close this pocket here. My Sherman's doing an excellent job on the enemy Panzers. Bringing up another M4a3 with the 2-star veterancy, which is going to be up to the 3-star veterancy as soon as it hits the command range of the M4a3. Now, last pocket of resistance, just this lone MG34. Lots of planes coming in as a kind of a last-ditch effort, I guess. Get some side shot from a third opponent on this center flank here with the Boaty Firefly. And this is very dangerous if it gets a side shot on my my friendly Shermans here. And now the MG34 falls to my units, and I'm gonna start pushing up with my infantry. Also bringing up some some Spitfires to deal with these planes. Get some lucky kills, I guess. But just as we reach phase C, the game is coming to an end. Our left flank is pretty much pushed up all the way to the border of the map. Same in the middle, closing in very fast. I'm doing quite well here on my my front. My Shermans are doing some horrific damage to the German units here. The Sherman just gets instantly taken out by my Sherman. And yeah, with all this 30 and 50 cal, there's just no way that my his Panzer Grenadiers are gonna be able to push. My P-38 was initially brought into fire on the Panzer IV, but gets the order just in time to get on target on the Bf-109 and that gets shot down. And now there's basically just a huge tank battle going on over here, but for my teammates it's not going to be enough. And there goes the first surrender, and the second, and the third. So here we go, major victory for our team. Final score is 2,110 kills and 1,075 losses. And this was basically the initial battles that I got in because I was mismicroing, because I was just admiring the map basically. But yeah, did pretty well. Most kills on my team, not that it really matters. Definitely didn't take the most territory, but yeah, good game to my teammates, May, Shukaban, Shervin, and my opponents, See Trent, Aegon, Canon, and Ice Seals. So good game to you guys, and to you at home watching this, hope to catch you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more.